You will have 3 members in each team, and you will have 1 food truck to cook out of.
A 3-course menu represents an even bigger vision, which means you need a leader of the pack.
I was actually very confident enough with my team, which really didn't work out for us.
You don't have to cut 4 parts, you have to cut the same size. Obviously.
No matter how much I was telling them, it wasn't just coming together. That literally infuriated me so much so that I had to start yelling at the girls.
Yogita, we don't have time.
Girls, you're halfway into the task. 30 minutes left, 30 more to go. Let's pick up the pace now.
I've realized I'm the kind of person who slows down in panic, and I'm not really sure what's happening. I get confused. I'm not sure what the next step is.
Whoa!
Kieran's caramel sugar burnt the first time, and I didn't want the sugar to be burnt for the second time. So I remember just grabbing the pan quickly.
Okay, this is done, Kieran. Can I put it aside and let the heat cook with the rest?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, it needs to be a lot chunkier than this.
Ipsita really helped me out because she, in her head, had an idea of what my steps are, and she would be like, okay, get on these now and do this now.
Okay, this caramel looks done. Have a look, just turn around once. Turn your head.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Taste this. We have scissors. Getting? Balsamic getting?
Sorry. Forgot. Shit. It's getting a bit chaotic because there's 3 people in a truck. It's not easy to move around, and the tension comes in when there's too much things happening in that short amount of time.
I'm a little bit stressed about my risotto because, well, it's not easy to make and it takes a while.
Our time is getting over and we have to catch up on a lot of things.
You know, it's really exciting how they come up with these ideas. I mean, smoked fennel.
On the food truck, on the yellow food truck, we've got Juhi actually making fresh cottage cheese, you know, which is quite nice.
Which is a technique that I think
Yes.
for us is a proud technique, that, you know, you're making your fresh cottage cheese and not
Absolutely.
using store-bought paneer.
Exactly. On the negative side, on the food truck, what I realized when I asked them the courses, they're actually done in the first course like a stuffed momo, which is deep fried. But in the second course, which is the main course, also they're doing a stuffed ravioli.
That's what I feel, that having a ravioli and a momo as 2 courses, that's why you need a captain. You need somebody to say, hey, you know what?
Yes.
Somebody needs to drive the truck.
Yes, absolutely. But I've planted the seed. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see if they pick up on it.
Awesome.
Can you just put this in the dustbin and put this plate for wash? Even the slightest flavor of one dish going into the other because we've used the spoon or used the same cutting board would have mixed the flavors. No matter how much I was telling them, it wasn't just coming together. Clean down, remove this out of the place. Things that we don't need with all three of us need space to clean. For some very odd reason, I don't know why, Akansha was feeling low. And she wasn't herself, you know, herself that made me choose her. And I just kept bucking her up. I was like, Akansha, you need to get back. You know, you're just losing it at the moment. Get into the flow. Things weren't panning out too well.
Akansha, please plate, Akansha. We don't have time. Don't start doing new things.
I think Akanksha and me did a great effort there. In that situation, we did not reply back to any of the things which she has said. It was difficult to work in that atmosphere. We're just trying to wrap up our dishes. My fritters are almost done. This needs to be hot so it can be nice and crunchy.
Yogita's almost done. She's just doing the prep for the vegetables that are supposed to go into the zucchini rolls. For the mains, we have Akansha, who's already prepared the pasta. She's just going to put it into the water to do it. For the dessert, I'm just left with my crumble. I'm done with my sauce and setting the main cream cheese little thing that I'm making, which you can see once it's ready.
Girls, you've got only 15 minutes to put those thoughts together, to get that plate ready. Hope your execution is on point.
We have a lot to do. I don't know how we're going to finish plating. I think Tanisha is going to have to help us. As soon as the elements get done, she has to start plating. We're hoping we'll get everything done soon enough.
I'm just trying to finish off as much as possible. Where's your risotto at?
My risotto is almost done.
Just check.
This is not done. This is not done.
I know it's not done. Remove what is not done. Remove the banana if it's not done.
Guys, skewers को देख लो.
Fine. Very nice. Now, where is
Fennel
it?
मैं एक ही साइड डाल रही हूँ. Bananas हम नहीं डाल रहे because ये पक ही नहीं
ठीक है,
रहे.
तू बात मत कर, तू बस कर.
I knew that she was panicking. So I always thought, okay, I am the panic queen, but no. Everyone panics when it's crunch time. Wait, but the skewer also is looking dirty.
No, the skewer must be there. You're saying you're doing veggie skewer. Wipe the skewer with a wet cloth, that's it. Our vegetable skewers, they did look a little untidy and not so appetizing, I would say. But when I saw the product, it was a little late because they were all cut like that. And then we would have had to sort of redo the entire thing, which I thought would stress Nishtha out even more.
Girls, last 5 minutes of your task. The plate should be out there and you should be standing and smiling.
It didn't set out. I looked at my panna cotta cream and I thought, I don't think this is going to set in the mold. So I might as well make it properly deconstructed. Probably the fridge is not cold enough to set a dessert. So instead, I've changed it to a lemon cream, which is the consistency of a thick, creamy custard. I did a crumb. There's lemon everywhere.
Well, girls, this is it. Your time stops now.
I just was so overwhelmed by the end of that task that I had to just break down because I finished angry. I helped others, I drove all of us, and I knew we put up 3 beautiful dishes today.
I've been blessed with the fact that I have never got into any argument with another contestant. We knew that we are good at something, so we let each other just be. So it was very peaceful on my truck. It was harmony.
I ultimately got exactly what I wanted to put on my plate, and I'm hoping now that the judges like it as well. They like all our plates, and fingers crossed.
How's the day been?
It's really fun. I felt like I walked into my dream in the morning, this place. But apart from that, it was very hectic on the truck. 3 people on 1 truck, it's a very small space. So I think we have to get used to that.
All right. Chewy, let's start with your team.
I was a bit scared that time because I knew for the fact in my truck there was a lack of teamwork. So I was just wondering that it doesn't affect our results.
All right, this looks great. Time for tasting. Thank you. You could take it back. Chewy, that homemade cottage cheese, the homemade ricotta is nice, creamy. The balance between The creaminess of the ricotta and the tartness of the orange is perfect there. The crumble breaks the monotony, which kind of sets in into a dessert after a while. Orange, that's what you got, and you took it and elevated it. All right?
I'm so pleased with Chef Ranveer's comments. I cooked without eggs today, and I've done extremely well. It was very hard because I'm comfortable cooking non-vegetarian food than vegetarian, but I'm very pleased with whatever I put up today.
Akanksha, your main course looked very pretty. Actually, the entire team, all your presentations look very good.
Thank you.
And the fact that every time you think of pasta, you think of egg, and you limit yourself. So you took that step and you made a vegetarian pasta, and that itself shows technique, which is extremely important. And then you highlighted the basil, which is in a pesto form with hazelnuts, right? Maybe a little crunch was missing, maybe a little sauce was missing, but to highlight the basil and to make the basil as a king, you've done that with your dish.
All right, Akanksha, just to leave a doubt in your mind, I loved the dish. I loved the fact that basil stood out, but when I put it next to your appetizer, I'm not really able to make up my mind if that portion is big enough to be called a main course.
The only feedback I got was that my portion size was a bit small in terms of a gourmet because our appetizer and our main was not going a bit well. But then I know now that how the portion size works.
Yogita, you were doing a tirfal and a cream combination. I knew for a fact it would not work.
I was so scared about it. I thought, okay, this is the time I'm going to be in the elimination zone.
But it worked.
It tasted really, really good.
Thank you.
The filling inside the involtini, it's nice, peppery. That trifla is doing its job.
That was a moment that, okay, you have done it, Yogita. You have completed your task.
When the appetizers were tasted, the one thing that was appreciated the most was the, trifle cream sauce. But because we worked as a team, I couldn't have taken the credit for it. Somewhere in my heart, though, I would have wanted them to know that that was to my effort, that I wasn't just working on my dish. I was helping out my co-teammates as well.
So the next team, come.
I had a lot of expectations when you say kadi kodu, which means curry and that pumpkin sabzi that you get in a Bori household with pumpkins. Pumpkin is cooked with tamarind, it's cooked with nice ginger and tamarind, and it's served with a moong pulao, right? That's what a classic kadi kodu combination is. I'm going to be a little harsh here, Tarana. This dish didn't cut it for me. No expression.
I tried to replace ginger and some ingredients, keeping in mind that how would people work. So I was not really confident about the amount there. So I really did not form the taste I was supposed to form over there.
The dessert, good thing, looks very good. I like the whole idea of using the ring mold to make a line. I like the colors, I like the black plate, black and white, black, white, red. Classic combination, very well put, very aptly executed. However, when I taste it, I want my strawberries to be fresh. Otherwise, we could have given you strawberry jam.
This plate here, the appetizer, Ipsita, looks great to me in terms of plating. It's got the small bowls, it's got this tapas style plating, very modern, very in right now. When I put these three elements together, they don't work for me. The crispy vegetables fritters with the dip, thyme does not sing. There is thyme in it, but it could have shown better. The broth lacks flavor. It could have been more complex. It could have been something that's going to be a palate cleaner after you have something fried. That's the entire process.
The fritters had some thyme, but the flavor of thyme didn't come out because the flavor of chana is overpowering when it comes to thyme. So I think when it came to the vision, we didn't have a menu that was one single cuisine. So that's where we lost out a little bit.
Standing at the podium with all the other groups and having seen their plates, I was feeling actually a bit scared that we might land up in the bottom team.
Other than presentation, in the first plate, which is the appetizer, I can get a lovely smoked cream with the fennel smoked cream. But I don't see enough technique with the vegetables. It's plain, simple vegetables grilled. I would expect elevation if you do vegetable skewers.
Untreated, maybe just put it on the fire, roast it a little bit. Think about it, treat your ingredients, elevate your ingredients before you put them on a plate.
Yes, chef.
Technique, key. It's not present on this plate.
Our vegetable skewers were criticized a little bit because of the way they were cut. And I absolutely agree because they did look a little untidy.
The dessert looks beautiful, Tanisha. It looks right out of a modern restaurant. The plating, the deconstruction, the use of the lime, which is burnt, the panna cotta. But even though you've used lemon in every single element, it doesn't sing lemon. It's missing lemon somewhere. That pungency, that citrusy lemon, that freshness is lost somewhere.
Weigh the lemon and weigh the curd. Would I be able to finish the lemon? No. Would I be able to finish the curd? If I'm serving 50-gram lemon, why should I serve a 20-gram curd with it? Just a burnt lemon slice, a charred lemon slice as a garnish, would have worked wonders, right? Proportions. Proportion, proportion, proportion.
Yes, chef. And I thought, why didn't I think of that?
Chitwan,
Yes, chef.
for me, this is the dish of the day.
That was a very, very proud moment for me. I can't tell you how it felt because to have a renowned chef say something like that to you for an amateur cook is something that I don't know how to describe.
The pepperiness of the Gouda is coming through. Rosemary, pumpkin, classic combination, you nailed it. Bang on. The risotto is al dente, the creaminess is coming through. The courgette is never letting my palate get bored. It's flirting with my palate, it's entertaining my palate, and that's why it's there, right? Spot on. Proud of you.
Thank you, chef.
Judges liked Chitwan's risotto. Actually, I thought that she stuck to something which she knows best. There was no improvisation. I actually helped her with the dish, which I got no due credit for.
This is when the penny drops. This is when we realize who's going to be the truck that's going to be in the bottom and who's going to be safe. I would like to call Ipsita.
So when the judges called my name, I stepped in front. I was like, okay, there goes our team. We're going to be in the black apron. Wasn't a good feeling.
Juhi. And Chitwan.
Then they called Juhi and Chitwan. So I was like, what's going on? How come three of us are standing here? What are they going to say next?
Ipsita, Juhi, Chitwan. Your dishes today were the best in your team.
It was a slight moment of glee. I was like, okay, I must have done something right to be here.
However, in today's competition, it means nothing. Because today's competition was about visualizing, technically executing, and then expressing a three-course meal and not a dish.
I feel like what went wrong with us is that we were very decided in what individually we wanted to cook. The whole idea of teamwork is to not only rely on what you know you're sure of, but have a unanimous decision amongst all three people of what will work.
Juhi, please step back. Juhi, you had a great team with you.
Sure.
You had a team that thought, a team that believed that they could execute it. However, having a great team sometimes is not enough. Because for a great team to deliver, it has to work together.
Yes.
And today, you guys worked together. You're coasting.
Thank you.
We were the first team to be called out as safe. It gave me the sigh of relief of my life. I just didn't want to end up unsafe again.
I was happy that our team is not in the danger zone. So I will not be wearing that black apron for sure in this task.
Chitwan and Ipsita, one of your teams, in spite of your dishes being the best dishes, is going to go from frying pan into the fire.
For you, Ipsita, you and your team again had a vision, but it was only executed through your dish. The other two lacked vision, technique, and expression, which is what we look for every single time we put you through a task.
Chitwan, your dish might be number one. But your team was not number one today. Your team was number two. You're coasting.
Thank you, Chef. Thank you.
Thankfully, we were safe. So no elimination, no black apron.
Kiran Tarana, please come up front.
When they announced the results, it was our team that had to be in the black apron. I felt a little gutted because I know me, Kiran, and Tarana had we communicated just a little bit more.
I was a little upset when we were picked up as the team that didn't do too well out of all the three teams.
A team task like no other. Some outstanding dishes. But the team that won did not win on the basis of individual brilliance. It won because of consistency. Consistency of vision, consistency of technique, and consistency of expression. Well, we'll see you all tomorrow with Ipsita, Tarana, and Kiran. Only here on Living Foods on Fem Foodies. Take care. Good night.